Hey, sorry about that. Kind of had to trim a little parts because of something, but
My fault.
yeah, it is your fault. So this is gonna be part 2, dose. All right. So remember
Spy.
what?
Spy.
Yes,
German,
yes.
too.
Taking German classes. Okay.
No, but I like German.
Whatever. Continuing. Okay. So you know how I ended on keyboard, and I was telling you, well, think again. Think more. I mean, I messed up, but whatever. We're continuing. Okay, keyboard, right? Cables? It has cables. You want to know why it has cables? Because I'll tell you why it has cables. Because it strings along, it's like a carriage. It goes through, and it just transports it. It goes, hey, I'm going to take this for you. I'm going to take this electricity. I'm gonna,
And data.
and data, yes, and data. It's going to go through, and it's going to connect to the computer. It's going to go up and display it on a thing called a monitor, which, of course, most of you guys probably know, monitor is obviously the thing that displays the information from the main source of the computer. Wow, okay, alright, moving on.
Isn't that called the internet? Most of the time. Unless it's data or in the
The
computer.
internet is a browser. Alright, so, did you know that in 1943, this one specific person, the chairman of the IBM Corporation, which today is the world's most famous, continuing, sorry, I usually do that sometimes, but it's one of the most famous computer manufacturers.
I haven't heard of them, but that's just because I don't really pay attention to those things.
Exactly. Okay? Alright? Okay? They believed. They thought, this is crazy, that, in 1943, they thought there was only going to be 5 computers. 5. 5 potential. Potential. People those days, am I right? But by the year 1960, top engineers were saying that in the future, it might be possible that, wait a minute, that it's possible to reduce a computer's weight by no more than 1/2 of a ton. They thought that in the future, our time, our generation, where we live today, that a computer was going to weigh at least 1/2 of a ton? I mean, obviously, the thing I'm using now is obviously a portable computer device. It has computer chips, it has everything you need for the device to process everything. Okay? For an example, your iPhone. Your iPhone is basically a computer, but it doesn't have all the processing equipment that a regular computer with a monitor screen has. Your iPhone will obviously have the potential things like a graphic card, or like a graphic card, and you can go do anything on these tablets these days. Like you can go on Facebook, YouTube, Google, Omegle, which you probably have heard of or not. It's this weird site anyway. And okay, they've come out, Apple products.
I like YouTube a lot.
YouTube, yes, so do I. I like to watch a lot of funny prank videos. Anyway, like Apple products. They display all the things that they're gonna sell. Like right now, that I'm using a tablet, an iPad, to record this right now. An Apple product. The iPhone, the iPod, those little tiny things that do music. They are Apple products. and they have computer chips inside of them, which is exactly like a computer. So, off with that topic.
Dude,
Let's
I better
continue.
get an apple later.
Huh?
I better get an apple later.
Me too.
I'm hungry.
After the video. Okay. So, moving on. Okay. So, today, the computer chips, when they thought in the 1960s, 1960s, they thought, how it's going to be a half a ton. But today, 1960 to 2013, how much is that? You tell me. Tell me, people, what's the time frame from that? Huh? Do a little math here.
1960? That's like 73 years.
73 years. We have lightweight computer chips that could process millions of information. Millions. And it can travel without cables, wirelessly, with these radio towers that is used to process, to go all the way, probably from the United States to Russia in at least less than 30 minutes. 20 minutes. If we have good software for it. Okay? Airplanes. The reason why we can't have the internet while we're going is because it interrupts with the communication system from the main airport system to the airplane. And those technical devices will interrupt that, so they can't communicate with each other as well.
Would we crash?
Yeah. We will if people are on it all the time. Okay? So, a lot of process information here. One last thing I'm going to tell you about. In the early 1950s, few people in the world had even heard of computers. Heard of it. People were like playing in the dirt. I mean, I wish.
Good old playing with a stick?
Yeah. Like, I'll go outside, play with the dirt, like make little stick figures. I mean, that's what they did in the 1950s. People haven't even heard of the computer, the processing unit of any kind of computer. Okay? And today, obviously, few organizations anywhere don't even use it. So basically everywhere, everybody has heard of the computer. Maybe not, maybe, there are some places. And, I am going to end this video here. So I hope you enjoyed, and have a fabulous day.
By both of us.
By Spencer Lamb and Jonathan McClure.
Peace!